Hi everybody, this is Kimberly from Sheer Gaming, and my sister and I have developed a glove pattern that we'd like to share with you. I made a glove last night and I was asked to give a tutorial on it due to the fact that other people need to make gloves. So here we go, and I hope it helps. Okay, so we're going to start with tracing your hand on a piece of paper. We usually use poster board, but any type of paper is fine as long as you can work with it and cut out what you need to. So just trace out the general shape of your hand. You might want to smooth along the edges, which I actually did afterwards. But what we're going to do is we're going to make a separate thumb piece. Like I've shown you right here, we're going to cut that off. What this is going to do is cause great mobility and comfort for yourself. And right here, I show you exactly where to cut along the dotted line so that the pattern is very simplistic for you and you're not left wondering, what do I do next? So after we cut the thumb off, we're going to get ready to get our material. And in this video, I demonstrate that I'm using a stretchy material, which is perfect for bending your fingers and the like. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and give it a fold so that I can cut it out twice and not have to worry about doing it more than once. So I have pinned my material, my pattern to the material, and I'm going to get ready to cut it. So here I went ahead and cut away the excess material, that way I didn't have to deal with all of that material while cutting. And I made sure to leave myself enough room to get the thumb out of, because you want to make sure that you are conserving as much material as possible if you cosplay on a budget like we do. So I made sure I have enough room for my thumbs and I have enough room for my gloves. So I go ahead and I cut those pieces away, and please make sure you give yourself extra seam allowance for your fingers, because if you don't, you're going to end up with too tight finger holes and not be able to use it. Here, I've went ahead and cut everything out, and there are a little bit of areas where I cut too close to the glove pattern, but that's all right. It's very stretchy, so you can work with it. Now it's time to cut out the thumb, and as you can see, I've left myself enough room for that too, which is very smart thinking when you're wanting to save money. As you can see now, we basically have a glove, but it's not attached yet. It's not sewn together. So what I'm going to do, go ahead and take away your pattern pieces because you don't need those, and you can also use them again for the same glove. You don't have to trace your other hand, you can do it that way. So as you can see here, we have the two gloves next to each other. The thumb's not attached, but we're about to attach those. Okay, so now I have the thumbs pinned to the glove. Please make sure that you do them opposite of one another, because we're going to have to sew it inside out. If you do them the exact same way, you're going to end up with one side of the glove being inside out. Now we move on to sewing the thumb to the glove. It is important that we use the A stitch, because if you use anything else, it'll mess with the elasticity of the material, and it kind of makes it where you don't have as much movement as you would like to have. Your thumb should look like this when going into the sewing machine. The thumb should be folded over into the palm of the hand pattern. Make sure to sew slowly so that you don't accidentally miss the other side of the material and end up with a hole in your thumb. Now we have the thumb sewn to one of them, and just don't worry about that little tiny bit where it's not attached. We're going to fix that when we sew it all together. So now we have both of our thumbs sewn on, and we're going to get ready to sew them both together so that we have our full glove. So here you see that we pin the glove together inside out. So it's very important to do that because this is how we're going to sew it so that everything lines up equally. So make sure that you can see both the seams from the thumb sticking out, because this is how we need to sew it. All right, getting ready to sew it. Just take your time, make sure that you make the fingers wide enough, and just make sure you don't leave any holes. That's very important. If you do, you can always go back and fix them. That's all right. So just sew, take it easy, don't have to rush. Okay, now I have my glove done. So I stuck my hand inside of it to make sure that my hand fits, and it does. So there's no holes. I made sure that before I flipped it inside out and had to deal with all of that. Everything is looking great, and yours should too. Just make sure that there are no holes, everything fits perfectly. You don't have to struggle to get a finger in. So here at the end of our fingers, we see the excess material that could kind of prevent our fingers from pushing all the way to the end of the glove. What you're going to do is just carefully trim around that. Make sure you don't trim too close to your seam because you don't want your thread to rip through the very thin material. So I've cut the excess material off, I've flipped it inside out, and my fingers fit in it perfectly. And so now all that's left to do is actually hem the glove at the bottom where the wrist is. So I flipped the glove back inside out without pushing the fingers back through because there was no need. I tucked the edges of the glove on the inside and I pinned it so I could hem it. Then I run it through the sewing machine and hem it. And there you have it. The glove is done. And it is very flexible, movable, very comfortable for any cosplay, so you don't have to worry about finger restriction or anything. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and that it helped you out. Thank you so much for watching, and comment and let us know if there's anything else that you'd like to know, if there was something that I explained that wasn't clear. Just let us know. Thank you so much. This is Kimberly, and this is Sheer Gaming.